Hey, what's going on, guys? Today, we'll be talking about who the Steelers wide receiver 2 will be in 2025. This on another episode of So the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got rid of George Pickens. They brought in DK Metcalf. Their receiver room looks a lot different than it did in 2024. And for the purpose of this video, we're not going to question who they might trade for or sign to fill a wide receiver 2 role. We're just going to look at the options they actually have, which, if the Steelers don't go all in, might actually be their wide receiver 2 in 2025. As scary as that thought might be. So let's look at the 3 most likely options to fill the role. Up first, we have the 33-year-old Robert Woods. And Steelers fans, with him you get age, experience, and a wide receiver that only had 20 receptions for 200 yards in 2024. He's a great receiving option for wide receiver 2, I think. Just kidding. I don't really like him as the option. Obviously, his age is an issue. His lack of production last year was also an issue, though it was on a bad team, and he wasn't exactly in a good position to catch a lot of those balls. So, because he wasn't very high on the depth chart. But I also think that speaks to how bad him as an option is, because he's obviously regressing somewhat drastically. So, if Robert Woods isn't an option, let's go to option 2. So, Steelers fans, your homegrown product in Calvin Austin. He's young, he's been on the team for a few years now, and in 2024, he had 36 receptions for 548 yards and 4 touchdowns. And this might actually be the Steelers' best option, because Calvin Austin has been on the team already. He knows the Steelers system. Obviously, he's talented enough to catch 36 passes for over 500 yards, and he's actually caught touchdowns, which, you gotta think, he wasn't utilized all that much. So, he has a chance to grow, fill the role. He already has a decent amount of work in the last year to show that he can do good plays for the team. And I think this is the most likely option, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the wide receiver 2 come the season, but obviously that might not be the case, because there is one more option I think that could fill the wide receiver 2 role, and that is Roman Wilson, Steelers fans, because he is a Steelers wide receiver we know very little about yet. And that's why he's intriguing, because he was hurt his rookie year, which was last year. He's healthy again. He's back. And we know nothing about him. We have no real, obviously because he got hurt, we have no clear indication of how good he is or not. He might be better than Calvin Austin. He might be worse than Robert Woods. We won't know until the season actually starts. And that's the question, because if he is better than Calvin Austin, he might be a true wide receiver 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We won't know. Has the injury affected him? How good was he going to be in the NFL? We don't know any of these questions, and that's why he's the big question mark. Now, obviously, my pick right now, Calvin Austin. I mean, he is the most experienced of these 3 in terms of actually having success in recent years. Obviously, Robert Woods is more experienced. It's just he's regressing and old. So I really don't want him to be the Steelers wide receiver 2, because you unfortunately know what you get with him at this point. So my pick as of right now is Calvin Austin, but I would not be surprised if Roman Wilson becomes a thing. So with that being said, guys, please like, share, subscribe down below, tell me what you think, and I'll see you next time.